everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maddie and I'm an energy and sustainability consultant working near Washington, D.C., and I'm also a part-time master's student in sustainability leadership. Today I wanted to share kind of the second video in my career journey series where I share the skills that I use as an energy consultant. I know when I was just starting out in college as a sustainability and environmental science major, I wasn't really sure what skills I needed to work on that would actually apply to a real life job in the industry. So today I want to give some of those industry secrets and tell you the skills I actually use the most on a day-to-day basis. The first skill that is probably the most important in my opinion, and it's one that is not a very popular one, and it is public speaking. So public speaking can be in the form of your annual review where you are talking one-on-one to your manager and advocating for yourself for what you have done over the past year. It can also range to giving webinars to hundreds of people on a sustainability topic. Public speaking can be really crucial in the environmental arena because often you're communicating with people that don't have the same views as you, and you want to make sure that your public speaking skills are up to par. So what makes a good public speaker? First is eye contact. So if you are in person, making eye contact with specific people, or if you're giving a webinar online, making eye contact with the camera like I'm doing right now for you. It is crucial to make sure that the person that is on the receiving end of your speech or your conversation, to make sure that they feel like they're being seen and heard. A good public speaker also knows how to pace whatever they're saying well, especially if it's in the form of a speech. So that means taking breaks wherever necessary, not speaking too fast or too slow for the given audience. And on that note, another aspect of a good public speaker is to know your audience and have a little bit of empathy about their background and their skill set and their knowledge base. It's important to incorporate that into your conversation or into your speech to make sure that whatever you're saying is received in the best way possible. The second skill that you will likely use as a consultant in the environmental industry is technical writing. Some companies will hire technical writers where that is most of what you are doing. You'll likely be using this skill when you're writing up fact sheets or memos, reports, or even editing websites. Any writing in this industry is going to have some technical aspect because sustainability is inherently scientific. Especially when you start to get into the climate change parts of it. You need to be able to communicate those complex topics to a bunch of different audiences, some who do understand the topics and others who don't. To be a good technical writer, you should be concise in whatever you're writing, not rambling on. You should know how to communicate what you're saying to whatever audience that you're writing for, and consider the platform that you're writing it on. So a blurb on a website is going to look a lot different from a memo, which is going to look a lot different from a fact sheet, and adjusting your syntax and your vocabulary based on the format is very important. The third skill that is useful as a consultant, and one that I use quite often, is data analysis. We are always getting information about energy consumption and building characteristics, and even if you're not specifically in energy, but if you're a consultant in any industry really, you will have some level of data analysis, and often you will want to be able to also visualize this data. You can do this on a number of platforms like Tableau or Power BI. Even Excel can do it for you, but knowing how to analyze data is very key. And this is something that you can learn how to do in college even. I know a lot of, at least biology courses did teach you some level of data analysis, but I promise you will be able to perfect those skills once you get into the workforce. Good traits of a person who does a lot of data analysis is being detail-oriented. I would say that's the best way to make sure that your skill is really honed in, and that's paying attention to the details. Conversely, you also want to keep the bigger picture in mind even when you are digging into those details. A lot of times the context of the data you're working with is very important. So if you are, for example, looking at a building that has a lot of energy consumption in 3 months during the year, you look into those months, find out they're June, July, and August. Well, that makes sense because they're blasting their AC when it's really hot out. So you want to be able to keep the bigger picture always in mind, even when you're digging into the details. The next skill that you will definitely be using as an energy consultant is knowing your way around the Microsoft Office platform. I would say most consulting firms use this. Outlook, Teams, and the Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel trio will become very familiar to you. And really staying organized is key here. You want to make sure you know your way around the different platforms and know kind of the tips and tricks or the hacks that will save you time on each of those platforms. I know, at least in my experience, college classes don't really teach you those hacks or how to save time using those different platforms. So it's worth exploring when you still have some time in your undergraduate degree to get a feel for how you'll use them later on. And finally, the last skill I use as an energy consultant is knowing how to keep my knowledge base of the sector updated. So this involves building science, renewable energy, and general policies floating around the space. You'll also want to be familiar with local and state policies specific to your region. Generally, having a knowledge for whatever you're consulting in is a good thing, but it's also important to keep up to date with the news and see how that might affect what you're working on. So 1 year into being an energy consultant, these are the skills I use most. I'm sure that list will grow as I gain more experience, especially in the project and people management arenas. But as of now, those are the skills that I use most. If you liked this video and you want to see more videos on sustainability or my journey as an energy consultant, please feel free to hit the subscribe button below. Bye!